course this is getting ready to die. Of course it is. Good morning. Yeah. But y'all been telling me it's dark for a while, but I gotta do what's best for these eyes. All that time I had the lights. First 2 years of TikTok, I had the lights facing this way, and I think that's what messed my eyes up, which is crazy. Did it to my dang self. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Why do I feel like this is so low? Because it is. It's just real low. I think the pressure in my chair might be going down or something. I don't really know. Hey, everybody. Good morning, everybody. This thing smells so good. Ugh. That hits the spot every time. Where is me? We just gonna use this one. Good morning, there go that BS. So I think it's this power bank that's shorting all my stuff out. I think that's what it is. I be trying to use stuff to the last minute, but sometimes you can't do it. Good morning. And they would be, you know, they ain't been cutting the grass. As soon as I come in here, they're gonna cut the grass. Ain't that something? As soon as I come in here, they wanna cut the grass. Niggas ain't been cutting the grass. We better turn this shine down just a little bit. There we go. Hey, everybody. Ooh, did y'all sleep okay last night? Hey, T. I don't know why my keys is in here. That's crazy. That's weird. My keys don't normally be in here. There's so many books in this place. You took a nap? Yeah. I went on. And I'm so sad there's no more episodes of House of Dragons. Why y'all didn't tell me? I went looking for episode 9, baby. It's none. The heck? They know that's my Sunday night go to sleep, rewatch it in the morning when I wake up. Or for my lunch after I take my noonday nap. What is they doing? That is wild, isn't it? Like, why y'all don't got another episode? What is y'all doing? Let me go get my coffee. Great. Got me irritated. Like, where is my episode yet? We need to dig in y'all business some more. Alright, y'all. Sorry about that. Whoa! Alright. Right, I'm so mad. You said, fam, I need some help. My son has 2 autistic girls, 4 and 5. Brought them for the summer and hasn't come back to get them. We enrolled the oldest in school. Not sure when. You said, or if she is coming back to get them. Okay, wait, what now? Son has 2 autistic girls, 4 and 5, and mom brought them for the summer and hasn't come back to get them. We'll definitely be praying that God worked the situation out. I mean, if she ain't came back and got them, file abandonment. And that'll give y'all rights to them immediately or very quickly. Temporary guardianship for sure. This I know. Y'all can go file abandonment and then get temporary guardianship, temporary custody and then go from there. Maybe she's overwhelmed and she can't, and it would be better for them to be with y'all than to be with her and something end up happening. She might be at her limit. That could be a thing. You know? That's what comes to my mind. Have y'all had a conversation with her about if she's feeling overwhelmed or whatever? You know, she might need a break. That's what I'm thinking. Good morning. Is she talking to you? She might be angry. Ask her, do she need a break? If you can contact her, she don't talk to you either. So nobody talks to her. She need a break. She checking in block messages. So do this. Text her and ask her. I mean, pray first, of course. But ask her if she need a break. That way it don't have to be ugly. Say, baby, if you need a break, we understand. We'll figure it out. You just need to let us know and let's get some paperwork done. So that way, if the girls need to go to the hospital or any of that stuff, we have what we need for them. She might be a little nicer. Because she reading them block messages for sure. She reading them. Y'all might not know it, but she reading them. But keep your grandbaby safe. If she's overwhelmed, I would not send my grandbabies back to her until she's better. There's something going on. And I think sometimes we don't listen to the cues because people aren't saying it. We don't listen to, you know, the other stuff that's not verbal. But clearly she need a break. I would say. So, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, depending on where you at. Let me ask you a question. What y'all think about these classes we've been having in our doctorate program? It's more y'all doing the work and me just getting to reap the benefits of y'all studies. It's pretty cool. Hey, Queen. Listen, you see, y'all get to go do all the digging now. I used to have to do all the digging by myself, but now I just get to learn. It's great. It's amazing. Yes. You said, yeah. Good morning. You said, I'm loving it. Good job. You see? It's an amazing thing. You said, I'm loving it. You said, toes still be wiggling like it's my first time here. That makes me excited. You said, loving it. Landmasses got me intrigued. Come on, Steph. You said House of Dragon was the last episode you watched. Oh, I know. I figured it out. You love it, Auntie? You said she sent off the necessary documents to get them in school. Okay, well then she told y'all what it was. Girl, well what? Now, Honeybee, come here. She told y'all what it was. Why is you saying what you were supposed to do? You got everything you need. And go enroll the girls in school. She told y'all what it was. She dropped them babies off. It's time for y'all to, hey, somebody else, I can't right now. Right, go get them in school. I don't know if they got bunk beds at your house, but go and transform whatever space you got, baby. Sometimes you just thrown in this stuff and look like she told y'all what it was. She told y'all exactly what it was. I was just working on Jasher and we'll pick the name that's hard to find info on, but I think they hide it because you can find some things if you reword it sometimes. You on your Indiana Jones-ish, huh? You got to go looking deeper. You got to seek and find. Look and see if they known by another name, right? Y'all make me so proud. Because can I be honest with y'all? So look, when I was in church, which was most of my early life, right? Right? It was most of my early life. I grew up apostolic, a pastor's granddaughter, okay? And we would have something called the Bible Bowl. If you're familiar with the PAW or uh, that type deal, offshoots of the PAW, you know that we have something called a Bible Bowl at our councils, or they call them conventions, or I can't think of what the what's the name call them? The Kojic. What do they call them? Convocation. The Holy Convocation conventions or councils is what we used to call them, right? We didn't call them Holy Convocation, but that's Kojic. So they would give you information in like December. He said, and I found out that Japheth settled around an island that has my last name, Rhodes. Interesting. Uh-oh. So here you are thinking that you didn't pick something that don't have nothing to do, and the whole time it got everything to do. See? See? Yeah. God be taking us all the way down through there. You hear me? He gonna make sure we understand. And I love that. That's cool. Very cool. Right? So look, we would have to, they would give us information, Bible scriptures or whatever. Like I remember one time we had to do the seven churches of Revelations. I told y'all this already. And so we would have 3 months to learn as much, memorize, whatever. And then we would go. You said I know all about conventions. Okay. So you know, you've been buying your clothes for 3 months. Well, technically, my mom will probably start buying stuff a year in advance. All the outfits for all the nights, and the hats, and the shoes, and everything to go with them. Everybody got their stuff. Hello, you know how I go. And we would battle. You know, we would have games and whatnot to see how much we retained or how much we learned, and then you could win the Bible Bowl. There was, you know, the art part of it. There was the literary part of it. It just the whole, you know, kind of like biblical Olympics type deal, right? So when we do some of the stuff that we do, the seed that they sowed into me when I was in church is from that. I was always a Bible Bowl person. You hear me? I wanted to be in the Bible Bowl. That's what I want to do. I want to represent our district for the Bible Bowl, right? So when you all are studying and you are looking deep and you are finding out as much as you can about one person, one city, one nationality, whatever it is, just know that that seed for me, you said you can tell. Girl, listen, baby, I was gonna come home with a ribbon or something, a trophy. I need something. Yeah, I ain't leaving this convention without nothing. Don't make me knock all this stuff over here. Y'all better give me something. I better get a third, a second, or something. Taking something home from the council. You hear me? Is. Okay? So, girl, I'm taking something home. I'm going to take something home. I'm not leaving this council. I don't have to. No, I'm taking something home. But you said it makes all the sense why you do this. Listen, the band, come on, girl. And is. And is. And is. You already know what's up. And I'm going to stand in front of the church and get my stuff going with that. Yes. All right. So the cool thing about that is I feel like every day here is like the Bible Bowl. But we're not in competition to see who knows more. We're just not in competition, but we're just like on a race to find out as much as we can. Does that make sense? But it's not to compete and say, oh, I know more than you. I know more than you. No, just we on a race to find out as much knowledge as we can, not competing, but then coming back and sharing. It's almost like a gathering experience. So you go out and get the oranges, yes. You go out and get the pineapples, you go get this, and then we just all gonna bring it back and put it here. You got the corn, you got the peas, you got the green beans, you got the cabbage, you know what I'm saying? You got the broccoli, you got the barley, you got the wheat, you got the lentils. You see what I'm saying? But when we come back together, every single thing that we found makes our plate complete. Does that make sense? You said we're all on a race against time, not each other. Exactly. Exactly. Thanksgiving dinner. Exactly. A potluck of sorts. Let's have a feast. Exactly. Exactly. And every single day we get to eat real good over here. Right? Every day. Every day we learn something mind blowing. And the crazy thing is, they say, oh, they coming up with new. No, no, baby, this stuff been here right in front of our face. But we were blinded to it. Like the freaking map. The fact that that landmass has been staring me in my face for at least 41 years. Huh? Just like a puzzle, put the pieces together. Listen, y'all can't say that's not mind blowing. That all those land masses have been staring all of us in the face the whole time. It's like I never seen it before. And I done had plenty of globes for my kids. I didn't have, you said that map thing pissed me off a little bit. You said, Oz, is y'all working? Oz, hello, I'm talking to you. Are you even working? What in the world? Nigga, I've been looking at this map for 41 years for sure and never seen that. It's wild. It's wild. So, this class is called Currently, right? And so, be very careful about the things that you type. But who of you lives in a place where it normally doesn't flood? Anybody? You don't technically live in a flood zone. Okay, good. You got your flood stuff. I don't need no help. I didn't say Google. Interesting. Boy, they be ear hustling hard, don't they? And yes, I have it. Okay. Do you all see what's happening in Middle America right now? Okay, Trina. The state that I just left, one of the areas where I was staying, people's houses and cars are underwater. Where all of my grandchildren have been born, except for one, is underwater. I just was fussing at my daughters. When I was there, I was telling my oldest daughter, you need to come get these because you never know what's going to happen. Mom, it is not about the flood and blah, 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 blah. And now that very city is underwater. As a matter of fact, the whole state. Y'all remember when I was at my daughter's house, my second daughter's house, and I was sitting at the table and those boxes behind me? You said, Auntie, tell me why we were in the shower and left 4 hours before the storm hit. We just looked at each other like, wow. Listen, Danny. Okay? And I abruptly left. Y'all don't know that, but I was supposed to be there until a different day. And I abruptly left. Probably because it would have been hard for me to leave. You said, I do not know if it's known to flood here so far. You said, but it's not. You said, but I've only been here 2 years. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. I told my daughters, get them floaties. You know what this reminds me of? Last year, this time, I was telling my son to put one in the back of his car. Within a month or two of that, he was hit and got knocked into a canal in pitch black water. And he kept saying, Mom, I live in Arizona. There's absolutely no reason for me basically to have Mom. And I said, boy. So it wasn't a flood of water, but he was in dark water in my dream. And he was in dark water when that man hit him going 70, 100 miles an hour and knocked him into the thing. Now, I was just there. Y'all know this. From April to June. I kept telling my oldest daughter, come get these things because they sitting at her sister's house. I said, you need these because if it flood, mom. Now it's flooded. The area that she normally takes my grandkids to for daycare, flooded. The area where she take my grandkids, flooded. Okay? The area I was just driving around in, the area where I had to take my car, flooded, nigga. I said, well, that is interesting. This sounds familiar, like 2022. You said, man, when are they going to listen to Mom? They don't. Sometimes they do. Listen. Oh. Listen. This is why I don't have no friends. I'm trying to tell you. People do not, they be like, because you always saying something, and then it always be something too, don't it? Maybe you should listen. Because folks always talking about what ain't gonna happen. Every time you go somewhere, it's all on. I cried a lot of tears in that city. This just 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I cried every single day except for, no, I did. I cried every day because my car messed up as soon as I got off the highway. I cried every day. For 58 days, I cried every single day. And the areas that are flooded, not all of them, because it's up north and stuff like that, but a lot of the areas that I kept driving back and forth to trying to get my car fixed, yeah. A certain road where the river is, drove it pretty much. That's the road. Remember when I told y'all I almost had a car accident? I almost had 2 car accidents when I was there. One of the roads that I almost had a car accident on is flooded. The other area where remember I told you I was turning and the man almost, yes, and the man almost T-boned me. That area is flooded too. Both of them. And they're on completely different sides of town. Thank you. They're on completely different sides of town. You hear me? One is like southeast. Yep, girl. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's crazy. And now y'all see why I be like, no, I don't want to go nowhere. Hello. I think, wasn't it right after I left Texas last year? They had the floods and stuff down there. I think right after, or something happened down there where I think it was floods. Because I was in Houston in October, the end, like October 10th or something, somewhere around there. I don't know, October something, 28th or something. I don't know. They still going on now. And right after I left Texas, they got hit with a crazy storm. Yeah. And people was trapped at the airport. That's what it was. The airport that I had just flew out of, they was trapped. You said not the same amount of time Adam cried out coming out of the garden. Uh-oh. Yeah. Crazy, right? Wild. Anyway, y'all seen the locusts in Russia? So much so that the sky is black. Baby, did we talk about it? Remember, we just learned that there are drones. Our cattle are running out of food because the grass is all dead. Baby, listen. It's billions, excuse me, billions of locusts that are covering Russia right now. What? We just did a class on locust drones, did we not? Didn't we just do a class in the last 2 weeks on locust drones? We talked about it. How they think they being funny. But then the locusts really showed, the real ones showed up. That ain't just hitting, no. They about to eat through all the food over there. God, see what folks been doing to the people in Ukraine, honey. Oh, go look it up. Y'all want to keep food from people and do this and do this and do this? God said, okay, I'm going to send my folks to do it. Got it. You cannot beat nature. Okay? So you starving folks out. You making sure they can't see they all of this. God said, oh, okay, well, you're going to be real hungry trying to do that next time because I'm about to send a billion locusts to eat up all y'all crops and everything else, baby. Huh? People can't even see the sky. It's so black. Straight plagues. Come on. Ain't that wild? Tyson is close to plants is and trying to sell one. Oh, I seen it. The one in Illinois just closed and folks was losing it. Did we talk about it? I remember when they was closing them at the beginning of 2025. All of the meat packing plants and fruit and vegetable plants closed. A lot of them. I remember this. And then other ones burned or had some kind of something where they had to close because it was this and that and ain't open back up. And people are not paying attention. Remember, we had a family member come in here and say the other day, I ain't supposed to tell y'all this, but the Kroger warehouses are empty. A member? That was last week. And then right after that, another meat processing plant closed. Can y'all tell me what one of the first things after milk and eggs that God told us to get in 22 was? Canned meat. Oh. You said a volcano in the east just erupted. Oh, we gonna get to that. we going. We going. Do y'all understand why when people came over here trying to tell me how to teach my class and that I needed to stay on target with what everybody else was preaching, I told them to get out of my class. I said, you are responsible for your parishioners, shepherd. You're responsible for making sure that your sheep have enough to eat, have enough to drink, are safe from predators, all of these things. I said, y'all worried about getting their money. I'm trying to make sure that when all this stuff that God told us happens, they don't have to take the mark of the beast. That they actually understand what is happening. That they will be able to see it. Okay, Heidi, you can't type it like that, baby. I love you. Tell the truth, but you have to find a different way to say it. I can't keep saying that. I love you. But you have to speak in a different way because those kind of things flag them for our live, and so then we can't go live. Okay? You have to find another way to say stuff. You can't say it exactly. You can't. That's why we weren't over here for 9 months, because I kept telling people, hey, watch what you say, or they're not going to let us get on here. And it started happening. The same thing that's happening to King Trev right now, I was telling you I was happening to me in 2022. Because I know people be like, oh my God, she's so, oh, okay. Well, either we like having class or we don't. And we didn't figure out the system. Okay? No, you can say, you just have to learn a different way, baby, because you don't want to do that even on your own page with AI. I don't know if you know, but they are cataloging every single thing that you type, and all of those things can be used against you as a person. Period. I love you too, girl. That's why I want you to stay in here, but you just got to find a different way to see it. So folks ain't showing up at your door too. You see what I'm saying? I love y'all and I want y'all to be okay in every way, not just. And so it comes off as me fussing, but really I just want y'all to be okay. Because as you can see, what we do here can and will be used against us. And all they have to do is go into your metadata and all of that, and boom, there it is. So going forward, especially if you don't plan on all the platforms. On all my platforms, they plan. Oh, let me show you how something. Well, one thing, look at this.
Full of powerful people. Friendly reminder, those weren't meteors falling from the sky. Now, I know a handful of powerful people on this planet want you to believe that that's still what's happening, but you know it's not. And in fact, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the video, the most recent video of the meteor entering our atmosphere, breaking apart, and then navigating itself to the right and to the left. Because you know what? That is normal meteor behavior, isn't it? Isn't it? Now, I want to clarify.
Did we talk about it? Did we talk about it? The stars are falling. They falling. Just like it said in Revelations, that the stars was gonna start to fall to earth. The sun was gonna go black. Oh, it did that the other day, right? In the same day, the stars fell. Oh, and the heavens. There was gonna be signs in the heaven, like 7 planets lining up perfectly. Oh, and we broke down 8/12/2026 and what it means. All those numbers in there. Remember, we just did that. He said, my husband said, get your tinfoil hat, babe. Yeah. Yeah, brother-in-law, just make her one that's real nice. Do we have any welders? Is there anybody that you said, have you seen the show, The Dome, that happens in the show? The Dome or Under the Dome? He said, sure did. Hey. I haven't watched the show The Dome, but I've watched Under the Dome. That's a good show too. Yep. Oh yeah. I got that series. Quit playing. Me and my kids stayed watching that. Under the Dome. Me and my 2 youngest girls. Yes, babe. That was our show. Mm-hmm. Where the cow gets cut in half when the thing comes down and all of that. Mm-hmm. We was watching that and Heroes at the same time. Yep. Girl. Let's see if they gonna let us see this, because I know they be. So certain videos, hold on. That's so wild. I just literally liked this video on here, and now when I tell y'all they be moving my stuff, they be moving my stuff, honey. Crazy. I like it, they unlike it. Here we go.
Just tested the system. So you mean to fucking... So I just tested the system. So you mean to fucking tell me I can make a goddamn video about fucking Bigfoot? But the moment I talk about Hurricane Lala, Navy sailors jumping over shit, all that shit nixed.
I forgot he dropped all of that. Do y'all remember me telling y'all that? I said, as long as we on here talking about whatever is people think is mythology and it's not real, we're good. Soon as we start connecting it to real things, all of a sudden, it be weird stuff going on. Remember when I was telling y'all my videos wasn't getting no views no more? All of this stuff, it's right here. You said, yes, I told my husband everything is, listen, explicit. You said, did y'all see the cheerleader girl from Heroes passed away yesterday? And did you see what she said? She told the truth. You can't type that, Tony. We call it SB, girl. Okay. She told about what happened in Hollywood, and now she ain't alive no more. As long as she kept her mouth shut. You said, Nick, my husband, was just talking about it. Listen. Okay. I didn't want to bring it up, but I saw that 3 months after her telling it, I can't believe I dreamed of going to Hollywood, girl. Yeah. Yeah. Or to the yes. Yeah. Now, y'all might have saw this, but I'm going to play it. Tell me if there's anything in here that you might have heard before, or saw before, or witnessed before with someone you know. Okay? Here we go.
I turned it on airplane mode because I'm like, this iPhone is taxed to all hell. Turned it on airplane mode. Turned it all the way off. Threw it inside of a Faraday bag. Then put that inside of a metal ammo container, okay? Came back the next day, turned it on. Airplane mode was off. I'm like, what? How is that even physically possible? All my air tags would randomly go off. I used to have all these air tags, and all my air tags would be beeping. Like, if you tell it to go ring, like if you want to find it, all mine would be beeping. I take the batteries out, because they were hacking all my stuff, my Facebook, all this. And all of a sudden, he got a message sent to him. And they were like, we know you're helping Julian, stop helping him. He got a text, and this was from my computer. And we're like, dang, yeah, they got everything compromised. I turned it on airplane mode, because I'm like,
How many times I done woke up, I told y'all my phone on airplane mode. All my calls are not ringing now. Okay, there's doubles of text on my phone. Remember I told y'all somebody will text me, but it's doubles on my text. Remember? I said, y'all, everything that he was talking about, all the little stuff, dead zones in parts of my house. All of a sudden, I can't talk on the phone because it's echo, 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 echo. And I've been using this saying, okay, I tried to tell y'all. And the fact that every single time I go out of town, somebody in my crib within 8 hours of me being here. 8 to 24 hours is somebody that's all of a sudden. I could be home for 9 months, no maintenance, no nothing unless I call them as soon as I go out of town. And they was watching me through my camera. That's why I don't use it anymore. That's why I do not use my door camera anymore, because they was watching me through my camera, because every single time they saw me leaving with a suitcase, within 8 to 24 hours, they was in my house. That just happened to me, but my phone was on D&D, and I never use it. I'm trying to tell you, it happens to my husband when he's talking to his brother. I'm trying to tell y'all. You said that was happening to me, and my calls were being blocked. Yep. You said mine acts like it's recording when I get a call. Rings weird, and I literally heard them say this is being recorded. You said that happened to me on my phone, would not cut on at all, and it kept blinking on and off, and when it came on, it was on airplane mode. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. In real life. And this is why when we first got on TikTok, listen, this is why when we got on TikTok, I kept telling people, listen, I am not your normal person. I need you to listen, know, and don't say. You said, so what do you think it is? Who do I think it is? No, I know who it is. They've been watching me for a long time, way before I got over here. I know exactly who it is. Hello. They sent me a letter in 2007 and said, we know that you got certain abilities. And they put this little coin in there. And they said, come visit us. And I said, I was 27 years old, baby. And it was like going to the MIB or going to see Professor X. Hello. In real life. No joke. And I said, let me get on and get on with the get on. Because at the time where I was living, my name wasn't even on the lease. But the letter was addressed to me. And I hadn't even been living there a month and a half. And I called my godmother. And she said, baby, get that out of your house. They said, we know that you have abilities. We know that you are able to easily sway people and persuade people, things like that. Yeah, money will be no option. And I was like, no, thank you. And there was several people there to see the letter and the coin. They watched me open it. Told me where to meet them and everything. No, thank you. I'll pass. And my godmother said, baby, it must be something big. This was in 2007. It must be something very, very big that God has for you to do, because the devil is offering you everything. 2007, I was 27 years old. I'm 46 right now. Hello. You said, but it's like the movie you said they was in there without having to be in there. Yeah. Remember I told you the people that's in they come in there in here no less than 90 seconds, a minute and 30. You ain't even spraying my house in a minute and 30 seconds. There's no way. You come as the roach folks or whoever, right? To pest control. You ain't spraying this apartment in a 1 minute and 30 seconds. No way. I don't care how fast you walk. And you're only in my house for under 90 seconds. Interesting. And gone. Okay. Not 2 minutes, not 2.5 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds. I'm not crazy. Oh, I don't know. Real crazy. All right.
Oh, it's taxed. It's all hell.
So that's a thing, and then hold on. This is not my video, but I did want y'all to see this or listen to it.
26. There is a reference that Bible scholars have puzzled over for centuries. The verse mentions Kaiwan, your star god, a name that ancient Aramaic and Akkadian sources confirm as one of the oldest recorded names.
You said they don't even have enough time to look for anything. What do you mean? Are you saying them being in here for a minute and 30 seconds, they don't have time to look? Is that what you're saying? listening devices. You're talking to a person that told people about the big, beautiful bill before it was even public knowledge. You're talking to a person that told people to prepare for specific things, and then they all happened. Every single one of them. And this information is recorded on YouTube, and it's like 4 years before all of it, before it was made known to the world. You cannot have 100,000, 20,000 people in 6 months going and buying survival stuff for specific things if you plan to make people think, oh, this just happened. And all of these people buy stuff that's for the stuff that's coming prior to it happening. That's why they hid my survival list in 22 October. Matter of fact, we bought was it potassium iodide before Biden did. We sold it out, and I kept saying, get it before you can't get it, because God was telling me that was going to be a thing. And then Biden bought millions of dollars worth of it right after we had been buying it for what, like 3-4 months, I think. God told us the milk was going to go bad, the eggs were going to go bad right before it would happen, and then we would be stocked up on powdered eggs, powdered milk, whatever. So yeah, they watching over here. They being, even the books we buy. Hello. He told us to hurry up and buy all the dehydrated food before it ain't none, and now most of the dehydrated food companies have gone out of business, or several, in 4 years, when nobody was even thinking about no dehydrated food just 3.5, 4 years ago. Oh, okay. That's why they over here. We knew that it was going to be floods in places where it normally isn't. And so last year, the year before, we bought the boats, the little floaty boats, and everybody got vests, because God told us it was going to be flooding in places where it shouldn't, and now that's happening as well. You said watch the beginning of the game, Detroit Become Human, you said? And I bet you'll think different. You said they have the time when the abilities of that game. Exactly. You said, and people still don't think they are two sides of the same body. Listen. You said if that video was about to say what I think it is, I'm going to have to throw my shoe. Which one?
For Saturn, Kaiwan. The Enoch passage uses this name, but it does not use it as the name of a planet. It uses it as the name of what is inside the seal. The being whose
Have y'all noticed that all the names that they call ghetto is... Never mind. We just gonna play the video. I wanted to say that first off. Okay, here we go.
But it does not use it as the name of a planet. It uses it as the name of what is inside the seal.
Okay, here we go.
Chapter 5, verse 26. There is a reference that Bible scholars have puzzled over for centuries. The verse mentions Kaiwan, your star god, a name that ancient Aramaic and Akkadian sources confirm as one of the oldest recorded names for Saturn, Kaiwan. The Enoch passage uses this name, but it does not use it as the name of a planet. It uses it as the name of what is inside the seal, the being whose imprisonment gives the outer structure its name. The wheel is named after its prisoner, the way a maximum security wing is sometimes named after the person it was built specifically to hold. And this is where it gets disturbing. The text describes what Kaiwan is, not who, what.
Listen to this part.
The person it was built, what is inside the seal. The being whose imprisonment gives the outer structure its name. The wheel is named after its prisoner, the way a maximum security wing is sometimes named after the person it was built specifically to hold. And this is where it gets disturbing. The text describes what Kaiwan is, not who, what. The Ge'ez passage is careful about this distinction in a way that the Aramaic fragments preserve even more precisely. The text says Kaiwan is not a watcher. The watchers were the beings who descended to Earth and corrupted human civilization. Their story fills chapters 6 through 16 of the standard Enoch text. Kaiwan predates the watchers. The text calls it the first of the first rebellion. a being whose defiance preceded everything the Watchers did, whose power exceeded what the earth's stone and darkness could contain. The flood handled the Nephilim. The judgment of Dudael handled the Watchers. Neither of those mechanisms was sufficient for what the text calls the first rebel. Something else had to be built, something at a scale that matched the thing being imprisoned. The outer seal had to be large enough, and it had to move, because a stationary prison, the text implies, would eventually be found and opened. A moving prison cannot be approached from a fixed direction. The wheel turns, and the entry point turns with it, and the location of entry is never the same twice. It functions like a combination lock that resets with every rotation. The Enoch passage gives one more detail about Kaiwan that the Ge'ez text preserves and the Western translations remove entirely. It says Kaiwan is not alone. The outer seal contains more than one prisoner. The passage lists 3 others alongside Kaiwan, none of them named, described only by attribute. The first is called the one who knew the structure before the structure existed, implying knowledge of creation's blueprint from the outside. The second is described as the one whose voice built and unmade simultaneously, a being whose speech was itself a constructive and destructive force. The third is described only as the eldest, with no further attribute given, as if naming its nature would be dangerous even in a sealed text. These 3 are described as bound more deeply than Kaiwan. Kaiwan is closest to the outer ring. The other 3 are at the center of the wheel. The text says the distance between Kaiwan's position and the center is greater than the distance between the earth and the outer seal itself. The inside of the wheel is larger than its outside appears. The text says this is by design. The prison was built to be larger within than without, because what it holds required a space that could not be measured from the outside. Now here's where it gets scary. In 1980 and 1981, the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft flew past Saturn and returned the first close-range images of its North Pole.
Okay, I'm not going to play this whole thing.
Was a storm system unlike any.
But y'all, it's so wild. And they're just user 4401244594435. But exactly what we talked about with the man in the moon and the sun god and their children. Because remember, a third of heaven fell with Lucifer. The first rebellion was the third of heaven that fell with Lucifer. Remember, I told y'all it was 2 sets of angels. Okay? It was 2 sets. There was a war in heaven. Don't forget that. And I said, well, if planets are planets, how are they going to be judged unless they're beings? But they showed us in Thor that the planets are prisons. Did they not? For beings that have supernatural powers and that want to destroy the earth. Did they show us that? And remember, it was spinning, and it was all kind of, and Loki had to figure out how to get or in or out or whatever it was. Remember? You said, wasn't it called a catapult? I don't know what it was called. You said the movie I meant to watch about the man in the moon. Interesting. Thank you, Rainbow. I mean, I don't know that this is a prison. Seeing as how God made this place so wonderful. Man messed it up. You said I read about it years ago. I don't know. But isn't that interesting? Is it not? And we just talked about it. We talk about it a lot, actually. Y'all think that's wild or what? I said, oh, nothing in our business. They over here in WOIU business. Right, Riz. Right, Riz. Listen. And this is why I can't go back to just regular church. I'm sorry. The mysteries that God be giving us over here, I just can't go back to just reciting scripture and not really understand it. you oh as soon I didn't get married. I didn't. This is my right hand. Um, it's pausing over there and they listening over here. We just talked about it. I just played the video for y'all. Y'all don't remember one time when I was in here in class and I heard remember when I started taking my iPads and stuff and all my other devices that I wasn't using in my room and putting them on the bed? Y'all remember this? Do y'all? Dean, you made me so nosy. The Lord did. You said, wow, but understand the scholars department. Okay. Y'all just heard what that man Julian that's making plastiline said. And everybody's like, she doing too much. Okay. That's because you don't know. My car, okay, everything. Everything. Hello. You cannot tell people what's coming and the government don't pay attention. Especially when they want y'all to think that it just happened and that it wasn't planned. You cannot. But the Lord said, I'm talking to those who listening, and if they listening, they gonna know what's going on. Period. See how they got Joe. He said he been said they was monitoring him. Oh, this is why I don't be going nowhere. This is why when everybody was like, "Oh, let's go," I can't do all that traveling. And you see, I told y'all every single time they gonna pull me over to the side and go through all my stuff. They've been doing that. They've been knowing me since the early 2000s. Is it okay to become a soldier? Yes, there were soldiers in the Lord's army. You said that's one reason I have a private account. Oh, that ain't gonna help me none. They've been watching me a long time. They've been watching me way before I got over here. And I think it's just because I was in the gay program is what started it, honestly. It started way back when I was in kindergarten. You said my mom used to say they was following us. I thought she was nuts. She ain't. Okay, his dark materials. Tell me that mama don't remind y'all of me. Except for the count. Well, amen. The mama in his dark material don't remind y'all teacher at all. No. You said that nothing is private, even when they say it's private. Come on. If you watch his dark material, that don't. She even got locks, babe. Where she be looking out the windows, telling y'all the cars that's going. Yeah. You said, listen. She don't remind y'all teacher at all. Huh? Talk about the other worlds and the beings that's here and all of that. The nigga thought his mama was crazy too until she wasn't. Okay. We just watched it again and took it apart. And we're still not the Egyptian mom, the black boy mama. Will's mom. Can't go outside. Don't like being around people. I know you think I'm crazy. No, Will, listen to me. I know y'all think I'm crazy. Listen. It's coming. You have to listen. There's information that they're looking for. Hello. I said, yeah. Remember I told y'all I used to be the car sitting outside my house and all this old weird stuff. Look here. I know what's up. You said, they know who folks. You said R and age. You said they came and sat next to you on the bus one day. Listen. She don't leave the house. And if she do, she ain't gone for long. Right? He kept saying, Mom, there's nobody there. She said, they are. They're here. They're watching us. There's a man, he came to the door today acting like, oh, hey, I'm a friend and this, that, and the other. They didn't have no other visitors, remember? No. Listen, it's real. Hello. It is what he said. I need to play that for my family. Yeah. Yeah. In real life. Okay. So, one other thing. You said like cell block. Listen, when y'all get time, I don't know who this person is. Do y'all want to finish this video? Because it's 6 minutes, but it's very interesting. I downloaded it because if I share it, they don't. Okay, so I'm going to run to the restroom while y'all do that. We got about 3 more minutes.
Anything previously observed on any planet, a hexagon, a perfect geometric hexagon, sitting at Saturn's North Pole, each of its 6 sides longer than the diameter of the Earth. Not roughly hexagonal, not approximately 6-sided. A precise, mathematically regular hexagon, rotating with the planet. Planetary scientists at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory have studied it for over 40 years. The leading explanation involves standing wave patterns in Saturn's atmosphere. That explanation accounts for the stability of the shape. It does not explain why the shape is a hexagon specifically, rather than any other polygon atmospheric wave patterns can theoretically produce. The hexagon has been there for at least 44 years of documented observation. It may have been there far longer. The Enoch passage describes the outer seal as marked at its crown, the top of the structure, with what the Ge'ez text calls the 6-sided sign. The seal, the text says, was marked this way deliberately. 6 sides, 1 for each direction of the created world: north, south, east, west, above, and below. All 6 directions sealed simultaneously. The mark sits at the crown of the structure as a signature of what was done there, a permanent identifier, and for 44 years, anyone with a large enough telescope has been able to see it. The part that shouldn't be possible is this. NASA's Cassini spacecraft spent 13 years orbiting Saturn between 2004 and 2017. In that time, it confirmed the hexagon's continued existence, mapped it in detail, and measured its rotation. Cassini also recorded something that was not part of the original mission objectives. Saturn emits radio waves. All gas giants do. But Saturn's radio emissions, when converted to audio frequencies, when translated from radio waves into sound the human ear can process, produce something that does not resemble white noise or static. The recording, which NASA released publicly and which remains available, sounds like a structured rhythmic transmission. Researchers at the University of Iowa who analyzed the Cassini radio data describe the emissions as having a periodicity, a repeating cycle, that does not correspond to any known atmospheric mechanism. The emissions pulse, they repeat. They have a rhythm that functions less like a natural phenomenon and more like a signal produced by a process that continues regardless of what the planet's atmosphere is doing on the surface. Here's what the translators left out. The Enoch passage contains a final descriptive element about the outer seal that the standard Western translations, to the extent they acknowledge this section at all, abbreviate or omit entirely. The Ge'ez text says the outer seal makes a sound, not a sound perceptible to human ears under normal conditions, a sound that travels through the medium of the heavens rather than through air.
Sorry, y'all. What y'all think? Mark at the head, and it's used as an identifier. Uh-oh. Ain't that crazy, Nisi Pudo? Y'all remember they said the beings under the Euphrates were stronger than any others. Listen, we have been lied to about so much. You know what this also makes me think of? On TikTok, his name is Terra X History. Thank you. Terra X History. TerraX History. Thank you, because I didn't know. You said there was a movie, The Golden Compass, that's similar. We watched it. We watched it. Sound so the sound is like so the sound is a beacon for moving the prison that moves consistently so it cannot be located broken into the prison break. Prison break. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So again, they've been playing in our face for a while now. And think about this though, y'all. Right? What if, okay, do y'all remember Devil's Tomb with Cuba? Remember when we first started this, I asked y'all to go watch Devil's Tomb. And the military had a place where they had found the angels in Dudael. They had dug down there, found them, and the angel was trying to get back to the surface. Remember? You're new here? Well, nice to meet you. This is why I think they use frequency to build the pyramids. It was 250 foot and 450-foot beams. Easy for them to lift those bricks. Not saying they didn't, but I mean, how much can a 450-foot person lift? 250 feet tall person. They can lift a lot, right? So it's just like our bricks that we go by, and some of the bricks that we use, like to line our house and different things. They're all different sizes. Yeah. The first round of giants that came from the angels and the women a lot. We read every day here, and I have for years. You said and all the triangular structures found under the ice. But think about this. Uh-oh. That's y'all. Hold on. Hey, son. Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, go ahead. Hold on, let me. You ain't on speaker. Oh, hold on. Go ahead. I mean, I don't know. Y'all probably could have talked about this too. I'm listening. Yeah, so I just woke up and I'm gonna got working a little bit, but I flipped to Brick 4. Okay. Did y'all read that? I'm sure we have. Probably not recently, but go ahead. We listening. Well, I mean, recently only because what I started is that after these things, Abimelech went outside the city and prayed to the Lord, and behold, an angel of the Lord came and taking hold of his right hand, brought him back to the place where Baruch was sitting, and he found him in a tomb. And when they saw each other, both of them wept, and they kissed each other. And looking up, Baruch saw with his own eyes the figs sheltered in Abimelech's basket. And raising his eyes to heaven, he prayed, saying, "You are the God who bestows a reward on those who love you. Prepare yourself, my heart, rejoice and be glad in your tabernacle, saying to your fleshly dwelling, your sorrow has been turned to joy. For the mighty one is coming and will raise you in your tabernacle, for sin has not taken root in you. Be refreshed within your tabernacle in your virgin faith and believe that you will live. Look at this basket of figs, for behold, they are 66 years old, and they have not withered, nor do they stink, but they are dripping with milk. Thus will it be for you, my flesh, if you do the things that God commands you by the angel of righteousness. He who preserved the basket of figs, the same one again will preserve you by his power." The only reason I say that is because you saw Mm-hmm.
And then y'all was reading about figs, but
No.
that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Hatred and sin ages you for sure.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
heard
thought that
that?
was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But think about it. If the first peoples ate those figs, that's why
Right.
their actual mortal bodies didn't deteriorate. So it actually
Yes.
makes a lot of sense because you are what you eat.
Right.
And our food now deteriorates very quickly, or it starts out no good. And that's when
Right.
the earth was good and only producing, for the most part, good things. So,
Right.
yeah, that's what we actually did just read about. We was just talking about figs the other day.
Yeah.
We was just talking about figs. So, well, I love you.
I love you too. You can call me back later.
Okay, thank you. How you feeling?
I'm alright. It's sore.
Just sore. Okay, well, mama call you back in a little bit.
Okay, I love
Love you too.
you. Bye.
Bye. Crazy. See how that worked? Listen, you said remember figs and cinnamon help with insulin. We just talked about that too. Yeah. Ain't that crazy? You said, that's how my mother was. But with spirits, everyone thought she was crazy until I got in this class. Uh oh. Uh oh, Lori. Uh oh. Yeah. He be studying. Y'all know he was one of the first people that actually took my studies seriously. And the only reason he did is because he watched anime. I would call him and be like, "Oh my god!" Like when I first started studying in lost books, and I would be like, "Son," da, 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 da. He'd be like, "Mom, that's in one of the animes I watch." Every single time I called him, it was, but the guy's name is, and he'd give me some Japanese name in the city, or whatever it is, the powers that I was understanding that these supernatural or hybrid beings had. He was like, "Oh yeah, Mom, that's in this anime. That's in that." And that is when I started understanding that the books on the literature of the East. Because, see, when you think that, you only think, you know, Japan, China, but Turkey and places like that are considered like Asia as well. You said no for real, amen, because this class is why my family started listening and reading the Apocrypha too. Really? I don't know what anime. He watched a whole bunch. Okay, let me call him back. Hold on, let me see so he can tell y'all. Cause I don't watch it. But even my niece Nicole, she says the same thing. Hey son, you on speaker real quick, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell them? Cause somebody asked, what animes are relevant to, like, if you can remember any, to the stuff that we study. Are there a couple that you know? And I was telling them when I first started studying Enoch and stuff like that, you were telling me a lot of this stuff is in your anime or it's very similar to your anime. And
Yeah.
Script Tease wants to know what anime.
Um, so many. And I'll just tell them in a minute. But when we first started, I was watching Naruto. I was watching Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. There's a few that I was watching. There's probably like a list of like 15. I had to get them together, but the only thing is I would reference back the names, and then I would just remember I was reading like Asian culture, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it would basically some of the giants' names and stuff, or the angels' names were in those anime. So I'd have to go back and see what I was watching at that time. But there are a lot.
Okay. Well, they look, and Nicole said all top tier anime. I told you, I can't wait till y'all talk, girl. I cannot wait till y'all have a conversation because I know that. Listen, I just want to be a fly on the wall. I keep trying to tell you. All right, son. Thank you. All right.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
I told you, girl. Now you see. I said I can't wait till you and him talk. Girl, I wish I could record the conversations. I know they about to be crazy. You said my daughter used to watch Hunter x Hunter. Listen, Attack on Titans is what I meant. I know. I think he said that one too, and I remember him telling me about that. Isn't that crazy? So again, you said yes, my son watch anime, and I see a lot in them. I'm trying to tell you, Hunter x Hunter is the truth for real. Listen, we saw anime even tells about the Met Kingdom, the Mermaid Kingdom. Got it. So, well, I mean, it makes sense because we've studied about all of the mermaids and all the different cultures. Like, listen, he said, "Yep, my husband watches anime, and he was actually telling me there is one he was watching, and it had to do with these creatures on an island. Kind of recently, what we was talking about the islands. Especially if you get into the manga, you said, and read about the Dark Continent. They played in our face. I didn't even know it was nothing called the. Could these be the Dark Continents, niece? The light blue areas and the truth of the phantom trope. The light blue areas would be considered the dark continents, wouldn't they? Because we don't know about them. And there are whole land masses that have been right here in front of our face in light blue the whole time, and we never seen them. Huh? You see all that light blue? That's all landmass. Maybe you can see it better on this side. And they definitely look like continents because they are. You can see it better on this side a little bit. See all the light brown? That's all land, man. That they never told us to pay attention to it, but you can see it real well. Crazy that they lied to us and put the colors on there so we didn't look at what was right in front of our face. It ain't no and then y'all realize it's even lighter spots. Did y'all realize that? That it's even lighter spots than the light spots. I wonder if Hero Academia is my son watches is all of those in One Piece. One Piece is going to be the islands with monsters, human, animal, folks. Not y'all said it at the same time. You said that might be where colorblind came from. It could be, but y'all see them is all land masses right there. All that light blue and it's connected. You see it? They played in our face. So North America and South America and all of that is way bigger than what they told us. Look, there go the landmass. It go all the way out to there. They only show you the parts they want you to pay attention to. Here go Atlantis. It said it was a continent right in between South America and Africa. It's still there. This is how they can show us what happened in Atlantis, and they have all the Atlantis things because they go there and look at the ruins, if it's even in ruins. There's something down here, right south of. Oh, okay. Oh, all that land right there, they lied and told us wasn't there, and it's right in our face. All the way around, too. It ain't just that side. It's over here, too. And there's even lighter spaces than the ones you can see. Ain't that crazy? They played in our face this whole time. Crazy. Like, what is this over here by Polynesia? It's massive. Where Easter Island is? Look. Look at how big this is and what they cover up right here. Look at that. Look how big this mass is down here. Can y'all see it? There it go. And what they covering up, that's right here. Because this is a strategic map. All of this is in the Pacific North Ocean. Look at that. And by Polynesia, what is this landmass right here? This how they just found all of them islands. Notice, you said country is U.S. is one. Huh? What you talking about, T? You need no less than 4 signatures from Do you want to go there? Interesting. You said I was looking at the Phantom Atlas and there was an island called the Demon Island and they were saying how it was off limits. Interesting. Where is it close to, girl? Yet the stones came from other places and were too heavy for the boats. Right. Right. But if the people, but you got to see. Okay, so look what they do. Let's do it. Hold on. Look how they show us Easter Islands. But look, they never had to go nowhere, sis. This is Easter Island right there, right? Boom. But look, this is all landmass. You see it? This is supposed to be Easter Island. Look at that. And it connects right here to say, look. It's a whole piece. It ain't even disconnected. It's a little bit of water in between there, right there. There go a little bit of water. But the rest, they try to, look. Okay, this South America, this Easter Island. Boom, right? Look, they told us, look at, this is the water we see right here. But this is all island right there. This is all one landmass. And it connects right here and right there. Do y'all see it? The light, there it go. You can see it better like that. Y'all see, this is a whole landmass. They try to make us think it's little, but it connects right to the, right there. That's all landmass, y'all. How can you not see it? It's right here. Look, this light blue is landmass. Do you see this? They go, okay. Pull up the world map on your phone or tablet or TV real quick. And look at the light blue parts. And you're going to see that it's connected. They just told us this was. This is all we see. But this is all landmass. This light blue right here. Can you see it now? Right there. See? That's all landmass. And it's connected right here. Can you see it better if I do it like that? See? Landmass. They try to tell us where the blue is where it stops, but there's other land there, and there's even lighter land. Do you see it? This is all landmass. Can you see it now? And it connects. That's South America. Do you see it? It's way bigger than what they told us. Google Earth will show the white part. Yeah. That's land. Go look on your thing. It's land. And it all connects. Every piece of it. All of our continents are still connected. Every single one of them. All the light blue parts that you see is land. You said my map has it labeled as the East Pacific Rise. Interesting. The East Pacific Rise. A whole... This is where the beings is, y'all. Y'all see them. Look at all that. Why they never told us this? They connected everywhere. Africa connects right to Antarctica. This is how niggas was in Antarctica. And it connects to Russia and all of that too. It's a long strip of land that goes in between. And we just talked about, that's why they fly us the way that they do certain boats. You can't go certain areas and all of that. Go look at your map. It's all landmass. And how we found it, our girl Rika. She found the islands between Norway and what's the name, and then they're on this map, but they're real light. Where the dog men, the spider men, the ape men, all of those, and they're on your map. If you go look in between Norway and Greenland, okay? Ooh, live restricted. Uh-oh, we own it, y'all. They done restricted the live. You said one of our newer gen anime, Kaju number 8, tells it all too. That's how you know it's real. Go look for yourself. I will never hurt myself, and I don't got no medical conditions. Do you hear what I said? Did you hear me? You said when you look up the East Pacific rise, it's blank. Interesting. I'm not gonna hurt myself. I love my grandkids. You said all the light areas are named on my map. Interesting. Because you know what didn't happen? People didn't start looking, because we had a lot of people in our class the other day when we first discovered this, right? Because you know what happens? People about to start looking, and they don't want that. You said it's in the National Geographic World Map. Interesting. They hide stuff. You said, yep, because that Sky Atlas book is on back order in thrift books. You know it, girl. Every book that we mention here be selling out. I don't like that. I mean, I do, but I don't. But we can't never get two copies. Now y'all see why I be trying to get two copies of my books. I try to get a paper book, a paperback copy, and a hardback to put on the shelf. One for study and one for safekeeping. And now y'all understand why. You sold all your books? No, we don't sell books. You said I done put bookmarks in my book about Norway, Greenland, and Cumberland. You said ready to study it soon. Listen. Oh, your atlas. The Father keep revealing the truth. He do. He do. He said when I looked up the coordinates, it gave me 55 degrees by 11 degrees north, 49 by 19 degrees west, located in the remote wilds of Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. Interesting. And where did they tell us Jacob them was? Huh? Where they tell us Jacob them was? Jacob and the wolf people. They was like Seattle, Canada, that whole area. Wasn't it? Ain't that where they told us they was at? You said I try to buy them as soon as they are mentioned because I know how this community is, girl. And the folks that be sneaking in our community and stealing our content. Them too, don't forget them. You said, now I see why God had me buy some of the books about Jen. Newfoundland. I got you. You said hey, well, how you doing? Oh, thank you. We've been on YouTube still. You said yes. In between the cold islands. Girl. Make me want to do cheer poses in here. You know what I'm saying? Got me stiff like that. Yes. You said my book name is People and Places Volume 2. Interesting. People and Places Volume 2. I'm going to have to collect my book collection. Listen. Oh, yeah, we don't sell books over here. We don't sell none of this stuff. You said, girl, that's how. You hear me? Ready? Okay, baby. Listen. You cannot tell me this is. Why would you not want to know? You're new here. It is CERCA TROVA 22. This same thing up here. That's an interesting name. You said the movie Twilight had the movie the wolves vampires on the border of Canada and Washington, right? Right. You're welcome. Yeah. Ain't that crazy? That's why they restricting our life, because we're telling the truth. They don't want niggas to go looking. But you know folks done been Googling, so now they're like, oh crap. Thank you. I'm excited. Listen, anytime that the Lord reveals something to us, tell her, Jen, please and all most of our classes, you said I see your excitement because, and you want to go to, and I'm not knocking church because church is a good start, but don't let them tell you you're not supposed to read outside of the Bible. You miss out on so much. You said this is the ish I like. I love it here. I'm trying to tell you. Don't let them tell you, because this is the crazy thing. They'll tell you don't read the lost books of the Bible, but get up in front of church and say, "Oh yes, honey, my baby got 18 degrees in secular education." But they'll tell you not to read more about biblical history. Right? The church clap get there. They give out scholarships for secular education, but they don't give out scholarships for biblical education. Wow. Go learn as much as you can about the world, baby, and come back and help us make more money for the church. But don't go digging in the ancient scriptures. Don't do that. No, no, no. We stay away from there. Interesting. Listen. You said I noticed last night as I was looking up these names, my internet started acting up. And then I couldn't find anything. It kept giving me the same surface info. Yep. You said, and also, sis, it says that's where the door to hell is by the demon island, which spoke about Guinea. You said Gnu Nagap. I don't know how to say that. Gagap. You said which we know is Tartarus. Oh, it's just the doorway. Interesting. He said, please always push their books and their CDs. Plus, always push their books and their CDs. Yep, about their sermons. The Concordance and Admiral Birds to the Beyond the Wall is 690936 South by 1444612 West in Antarctica. Well, now we know. You said if you learn too much, you'll mess up their money. That's why I kept getting kicked out. Because I put people on. They like, you are not a licensed minister. I said, not by y'all. Not by y'all. But I've definitely been anointed to teach. So I'm not worried about y'all. Y'all organization ain't going to tell me what I can study. You're not going to. Because I want all the information. And it's so crazy because God literally says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And it's the church folks that's always telling you not to read something. Hello. You said, remember when we had, when Pops took the disciples to Iron Mountain? They said they thought hell was above us, but it's here on earth with us. Interesting. I do remember that. And ain't Iron Mountain one of them? Y'all. You said she's, listen, I do remember that. I do remember that. Well, it says that, what's the name, is going to, but think about it. Remember, it's above us, but below God. We talked about that, right? So it makes sense that the door to hell would be right here on earth. I mean, this is what's going to send us there. The things that we do on this, but remember, okay. So what if it's not specifically on earth, but remember I told you it's dimensions sitting on top of the, kind of like with Lyra Neal, right? That the worlds are right there together. Because remember, it says it's going to be unveiled. God is going to open it up. So they could only see it because they was with God in the flesh. But it's like right on top, just like what we've been watching on Game of Thrones. And what's the name? It's right there. You said right, like the intro to his Dark Materials. Exactly. Just like the Wood Sign and Percy Jackson, and they entered it. Exactly, but it's a whole different realm right here on top of ours, right? The magicians, it was the same thing. Remember, they walked through the hedge. Maybe that's why God talks about hedges all the time. Parallel to another. Exact. One to one another. Right. Remember when they was going back and forth through the hedge to break bills? But she went through the elevator and he went through the hedge following his paper, remember? But they ended up at the same place to see if they were magically adept. Interesting. And it was a very high ranking college that they was going to, trying to get into. You said, you said, oh, yeah. You said like the book, what is it? For the hidden portals and caves. Right. Right. So, what y'all think? Hmm. Would you just rather keep reading the same scripture over and over and not having the understanding of what really happened? You said just like the Leprechaun movie when she was under the sea but went through the mountain to get there. Have y'all seen the roundabout that's under the ocean? I just seen it the other day. And they try to tell us that they built it, but I don't think they did. I think I need to get a job to support this book habit, girl. Girl. Have y'all, you saw it? It's a roundabout under the ocean, y'all. Go look it up real quick. And it's beautiful. You said DoorDash helps. That part, you said they have that in the Goonies when they fall into the ocean. See, they sure do. And it was gold and stuff. You see it, Queen? Yeah, and y'all know they'll lie and tell us they built that, but we know they didn't. They'll even make a whole video, but we know that that was portals and lakes and oceans. Uh-huh. You said, no way, that's boring. I enjoy new information. Uh-oh. They found it. Like they found everything else. Because if God says none of this stuff is new, you see it? A lot of people have to go from one country. I guess it's like a four-way stop to like 4 countries or 4 areas of the country or something like that. You said, now I'm wiggling my toes too. Hilarious. All of this make me think about Hellboy. When we see them big old trucks, we assume that what they say is on the outside is on the outside, but they was moving him in a trash truck. And some of them always have police escorts. Why? What's in there? They showed us that they would be moving these beings. Well, now that we know that the lands is all crossed and connected, it makes sense. You said, so you just gonna take it out of my mouth? Yeah. You said this. This also explained in the book of Luminaries. Interesting. So you just want to keep memorizing the same scripture? I'd rather not. I'd rather get into the real of it all. We also know how the giants and whatnot, they try to make it like, you're new here. Well, nice to meet you. Listen, anybody that's new, I'm going to tell y'all, we normally don't get over here. We door knocking right now. Y'all want to go follow us on YouTube, CERCA TROVA 22, CERCA. Only reason I say that is because we only going to be on here for a short while. And then we going back to our other house. And we got Substack too. Okay? Because they don't be telling people when I'm live and stuff. So I'm going to just say, you're going to want to subscribe somewhere else. And they will unsubscribe you too. So be paying attention. And then on YouTube, they thing is, they'll tell you 9 days after I'm live that I'm live. So they're doing it on all my social media because of the things we find over here. They don't care for us that much. And we don't make them no money. You said YouTube don't send the notifications, right? And they, some people can't even subscribe to me because the bell won't even be there for them to subscribe. And that's been for the last 3 years. They don't want people knowing the truth. You said, yeah. Oh, I know. But I told y'all they was gonna do this. When we first got over here, I said, listen, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna talk about gonna sound crazy. But look it up for yourself. And now they're making it where people can't research. Y'all just heard what my niece said and what my sis said. But I told y'all they was gonna make it like that. That's why we needed to get as many books as we could, because they were gonna start altering or restricting information. And then right after that, they started taking books out of the libraries. We said just busting all social media out. Have to. Remember, we talked about them taking away the books, and what started happening in 23. People start talking 22 into 22, beginning of 23. They start taking books out of. Somebody was a marine biology student. They said, Auntie, they didn't threw all the books away. All the books away. Okay, remember this? One of my nieces and nephews was taking marine biology at her college. They threw them all away somewhere East Coast. They threw all the books away. Then one of my cousins called me. The state E in the Midwest is a big college. They threw all the books away and told him if he climbed over there to get any of the books, he would be arrested. And they was throwing thousands and thousands of books, and this is a major college. Then we started seeing they was marking books in the libraries, the public libraries. Okay. He said, and I mean exponentially, they took them out and and wasn't selling. You couldn't buy them. They was destroying them. And now what's AI doing? They are scanning them and destroying the books. So while you can get books, you need, I don't care what they about, you need to buy them. Oh, let's, hold on. Forgot about that. Let's do that too, because we talked about that and everybody told me I was fear mongering. So let's see.
Here, Indiana. Good morning, America.
She posted this 3 hours ago.
So Gary, Indiana, all of Northwest Indiana, is now on day 7, no power. Of course, by 7 days of no power, there's only so much gas you can put into a generator within 7 days. Especially when you have not gone to work in 7 days, you have not made any money in 7 days. You have only been in survival mode for 7 days. And then let me just address all these people up in my comments. So yes, I am advocating for Gary, Indiana. Yes, most of the surrounding areas in that area are without power.
Y'all remember when people was telling me not to tell people don't to try to do electric and don't do gas generators, and I said that's not a smart thing to do, because when the gas run out, especially if, but do you remember Niecy Pooh when Auntie was telling people in 22? I said, listen, you're gonna want to do solar and another version of whatever it is, because that's not a smart thing. And I said you might not be able to get out to go get it. You remember it vividly? Okay.
But there's also that most of the surrounding areas, most of all of y'all have the resources. Y'all have the pensions, y'all have the checks, y'all have the jobs, y'all have the stores, y'all have the shelters, y'all have everything that y'all fucking need for a disaster. Y'all even already got the notices about y'all disaster relief for y'all cities. And what does Gary, Indiana have? We come to y'all stores, y'all tell us get out.
That's your hometown, Jazz? Yes, yes, and some more. We watching it, are we not? Every single thing that God told us to look for in the news that was not normal, that everybody keeps saying haven't happened, but what's going to happen? Guess what we did? We prepped for all of it. Did we not? God told us it was going to flood, so what we started doing, putting all our stuff, our survival and disaster preparedness. That's literally what my list is called, disaster preparedness, and it's been there since 22 on Amazon. Disaster preparedness is what I came out here putting down. Oh, okay. Listen, listen, and everything. It ain't gonna be no gas. The stuff gonna be too high. Put your stuff in plastic bins just in case it start flooding. All of this stuff. And everybody was talking crazy to me and saying that I was a false prophet and I was this and they shouldn't listen to me. And baby, everything that God done told us to, even down to the gas mask, the stove so we can cook. We got many refrigerators that we can plug into our generators to put the most important stuff in there, or be able to run machines and stuff like that that our family members might be on. And all of those things are happening. People were like, my family, they need their breathing machine. They need this. They need that. We even bought ice machines, the portable ones, that we could put into small, uh, like little air conditioner things, or we could be able to create ice just from our generator to keep our food from spoiling, just to pour it over there and keep it closed. All of these different things. You said, you took the word right out of my mouth. You said I was about to type it. Listen, we are in lockstep. I'm trying to tell you. You said, so grateful I listened and didn't care what nobody had to say. Miss Duncan. That's why I told you. I said, listen, I know what I'm telling you is crazy. You said Amish type refrigeration. We learned about that. We did, with the sand and all of that kind of stuff. We learned about putting the ashes over the potatoes and tomatoes to keep them for the summer and packing them in. All of that. We've been learning how to make bread, make margarine, all of these things. So when it ain't in the store, if it all go bad, hey. Also, do y'all remember us studying on the different types of raw fare, and we talked about weather being one of them? Remember, we talked about the different types of raw fare, and we talked about weather being one of them. We talked about how certain aspects of weather can be modified to make it do certain things in certain areas. And remember, we talked about north, east, south, west, middle. North, east, south, west, middle. North, east, south, west, middle. Do y'all see it? You said, what about the people who don't have those resources? See, this is the thing, Barry. It sucks, right? Because when people did have the resources in 2022, 2023, and 2024, when they got access to all of that COVID money and stuff, they tricked it off. They didn't realize that that was the preparation money for right now. But I was telling people that too. In early 22, I said, listen, they're giving y'all all this stuff because it ain't about to be none of that. Don't trick your stamps off. If they're giving you extra money, if they're paying your rent, don't be taking no trips. Don't go buy no car. Don't go buy a whole bunch of expenses. You need to go buy stuff like, hold on. And see, now these companies have gone out of business, a lot of them. You can go to the food pantry, right? This kind of stuff. This is what we was buying in 2022, 2023, 2024 until we learn how to do it ourselves, 2025. Okay? The extra stamps that they was giving out was for this stuff. And it's crazy because right in 2022 they started putting this in all the Walmarts, all the everywhere. It was even in CVS and stuff like that. Didn't it? It was everywhere and people was walking past it. So the best thing that you can do is go to a food pantry. It was at Sam's Club. It was everywhere. While everybody was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of money to sit at home and folks was tricking it off, we didn't do that. We bought rice and beans. Okay? So if you don't have money to prepare, then that means you need to be at every food line you can. Don't lie. Because God can give you favor with the people. Well, they will give you extra. First off, go get you a dehydrator. If you can, they have them at Goodwill. You said, now I don't even see them. Girl, but didn't God tell us, Queen? Did he not tell us? I told y'all. I said, hey, get it while ain't nobody paying attention. Buy all the books you can. Okay? All the books. The DVDs and the movies. Because the internet going to go off. And folks going to be losing it because they ain't going to have no way to entertain their children. All of these things are happening now. People talking about, yeah, my internet hasn't worked. I haven't been able to stream for 7 days and blah, 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 blah. And now the books are disappearing. He told us they would, though. You said, now you can't find it nowhere in the store and it's tripping. You said, and it's tripping about the amount of money online now. Did he tell us, though? Oh. You know what? Hey, Dad. Nope. Yep. So everything you told us is happening. All of it simultaneously. Just like you told us. You said everything was going to be happening at one time all over the place. Right. Oh, you want me to? Okay. We're going to go do it. Uh-oh. Y'all want to keep on talking about how the Nisco truck was injured in Gary. Shelters. Y'all have everything that y'all fucking need for a disaster. Y'all even already got the notices about y'all disaster relief for y'all cities. And what does Gary, Indiana have? We come to y'all stores, y'all tell us get out. We ask y'all for help, y'all tell us help ourselves. Y'all want to keep on talking about how the Nisco truck was injured in Gary, but y'all don't talk about the rest of the stuff that's going on. Y'all didn't see that Huh? Did we tell, God told us that they wasn't coming? They wasn't gonna come this time. It wasn't all them extra stamps and the relief. Girl, I said, well, we did. We talked about all of it. Every single thing that's happening right now, we talked about it. You said I keep seeing an emergency preparedness truck driving around. Where you at, Angelica? Just tell us the state you in. Literally, my list on what's the name is emergency preparedness, baby. I've been trying to tell folks. I've been screaming like the crazy person from the top of my lung. Florida, interesting. You said, yep, bought my dehydrator in 2025. Come on. Come on. Y'all think God was telling us? Do you? Do you think he was telling us? So remember we talked about people saying, oh, well, that's not happening where I am. I said it doesn't matter. It could be happening right next to you or right over wherever, however. Just because it's not happening right where you at don't mean it's not happening. Look at this. I guess it don't have no sound. Hold on. Oh, wait. On the same day? On the same day, huh? France, India, Romania, and Saudi Arabia. Interesting. You said I went crazy when they were giving Chicago students EBT benefits. That went straight to food. Interesting. You said, did y'all see the acidification from the mollusk? No, did not. I did not. I did not. There's one more. Oh, here we go. This was a couple of days ago.
Does anybody have any idea what's going on in New York right now? Since this morning, I have seen dozens of military vehicles traveling up and down the highways. I'll actually post a little video. There's a fleet of maybe 6 or 8 military vehicles right now currently sitting on the side of my highway. They've been sitting there for like 4 hours, just sitting there. I don't know why. I don't know if there's something going on, if we're going to war, if we're getting ready for an alien attack, but there's something big going on in New York. And if you haven't noticed, have you noticed Verizon? If you have Verizon, our Wi-Fi and our cell phones all afternoon until tonight have not been working. No Wi-Fi, no internet. If you call Verizon, they say there's absolutely nothing wrong. There's no known issues with our phone service right now. So, military personnel going up and down the highway like they're looking for something. The Wi-Fi's out. Cell phones are out.
You said, yes, I'm near there in Verizon. Did we talk about it, Belle? Did we talk about it? Here in Minnesota, Verizon has been out a lot. Interesting. This pen smells so good. Hello. So what y'all think? Did he tell us? Thank you so much for these. These are like the most amazing pens ever. It's aromatherapy pen. Ain't that crazy? This one's cotton candy. You said you can still order dehydrated foods through emergencyessentialsbeprepared.com. Thank you. Right, but I'm just saying a lot of the companies that we were buying from, they went out of business. Crazy, right? Scary. And people still want to be distracted. They still don't want to understand. This is why y'all hear me getting so mad at the pastors. Because now, exactly what God told us, even our security system went offline. Listen, God told us 3 years ago. No, excuse me, longer than that. 4.5, almost 5 years ago now. Come February, I'm tripping. 5 years ago, God told us that these things that are happening right now, y'all, kid you not, everything, that the military was going to be on our streets, that people was going to be getting alive in the streets, and there was nothing nobody was going to be able to do about it, that it was going back to the times of our grandparents, the Deep South movement. He told us that. He told us that the food wasn't going to be no good. All of these different things in 22. Now, he started telling me before 22, but I got over here in 22. We prepared for all of that for 3.5 years, 4 years, and we're still preparing for that. Because if there's nothing in the grocery stores, if the lights go out, how will you cook? We got wood burning stoves, camping stoves that we can put wood in or whatever, and put the little silver thing out the door that'll heat whatever space we all gonna live in. All of those different things. Portable toilets, portable showers. The water is drying up. When we talked about it not being any water or clean water, and I was telling everybody to get these the tablets and different ways to filter your water and whatnot, folks was like, you ain't gonna have to do all that. And now everybody's worried about the water drying up, which means you're not just gonna be running whole tubs of water, but if you have a portable shower, you can still stay clean. That's gonna be huge if there's skin diseases and stuff going around. What's the other thing? What you call that thing that we got? The water distiller. We just bought water distillers, what, in this last year? We just bought water distillers in this last year. We had purifiers, charcoal filters, but we just bought water distillers in this last year. And now the water is either no good, has a ton of parasites and stuff in it, or it's non-existent in several places around the world. It's very scary. Very scary. You said just a couple months ago. Okay. You said yes, 3 companies I patronized went out of business on the LDS church stopped selling by the can in person and only sells by the case online. Costco is out of Kirkland water in the gallon size. Interesting. It's real. Do you hear me? You said, and we bought our Pure Reels before that and did. The nations are being judged. That still don't mean you can't prepare for it. Joseph. Joseph from the Bible. That's all I'm going to say. If you've read the story of Joseph and what he did for the famine, you'll understand why. Yeah. He didn't wait until the famine came to start prepping. God told him 7 years in advance, and when the 7 years was up, the 7 years of famine, well, God said it was going to be those same things. Hello. You said I use my Pure Well every day. Come on. And now you know why God had us get them. You can't tell me. Okay, and I'm not picking on nobody. Who still go to church? If you still frequent a church house building or watch online like you do here, raise your hand. And I'm going to ask you a question. Don't be ashamed, because we're not going to attack you. I just want to see something. God warns us first. He do. Went to see my great-grands this weekend. My granddaughter finally gets it. Come on. You still go? You still go? You do sometimes? Okay. I just want to know. Now, how many of y'all pastors told y'all to buy a year, 6 months to a year's worth of survival stuff in the last 4 years? The times that you've been, have any pastor that you listen to, have they start telling you that you need to have 6 months? You said yours, grapes. Okay. None. Not in 4 years. Not just in the last 4, just never. No. Your pastor did. Okay. They have not. They have been asking me. Interesting. None. That's all yours talks about. Good job. He might be one out of. So then that means you're ready with survival stuff then, right? Grapes 453. You said not once, but I asked him if he was, and he said he was. So he won't say it to the community, but he's prepping for himself. Got it. Anybody else? And I'm not trying to knock you. I'm just trying to see. Because with the food and stuff being the way that it is, as a shepherd, you're supposed to make sure that your sheep is cool. You said I have never heard a pastor except Stephen Darby. Okay. You said I'm so grateful for this community and Dad leading me here. You said if I didn't have nothing right now, I'd be in panic mode. Listen, I have sent them your way. Who? You said I'm so great. Oh, yeah. Who you sent this way? Your pastor? Oh, shoot. Got it. That's scary. And they was getting mad at me when I kept saying they signing their people up to take the mark of the beast, because their people are not going to be ready for what's coming. So they're going to have to. You said if it wasn't for this community, I'd be in full panic mode too. Really? My brother has a church. They are afraid to tell the people. They just preach about salvation, not starvation. Okay. I saw that. You said lunch meat is on recall now. Don't we got a way to make our own? How many of you went out and bought that lunch meat maker thing that we got? If you were able to. If you didn't get to, that's okay. But at least you learn how to make it in the bags or whatever and boil it. Even if you didn't go get that thing, you learned a way to make your own lunch meat. Huh? Because you don't have to use it in that thing. You can wrap it up and steam it in plastic as well. You said I sent the chaplain from the hospital when I was there here. Really? Interesting. You said they called me crazy and kicked me out of leadership. And then I only went to be a person to snatch the young ones with the truth. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. You said yes, and I got a bologna recipe and do. I'm about to tell you what it's called. Hold on, because I don't know. But I got one. It's called a complete meat press kit. And it's called a complete meat press kit. Remember? This is to tenderize your meat. And then you grind it up and put your seasonings in there. Whatever meat you're going to, or like chicken or beef or whatever. And then you press it in here and boil it. And you make your own. See? And they tell you, what temperature is safe at. You can make your own lunch meat with this right here. Bologna, chicken, whatever. I learned how to make lunch meat from lentils in a jar, you said, for the non-meat eaters on YouTube. All right. All right. You can make your own turkey. You get your ground turkey, get your ground chicken, season it up real good. You said spam. Yeah. Yep. Same thing. That's why I said you can use plastic. There's other ways, but this is one of them too. You said, or when there's no meat. Yeah. Oh, you talking about for the lentils? Yeah. As a meat substitute, all of it. So we already knew that this stuff was coming. You said, let me go look it up. I got a lot of lentils. Listen. So however you do it, we've been preparing for this kind of stuff. Please don't fall. You said all I hear my church say is that they need more money, never saying for us to prepare for what's coming. Edith. And now y'all see why they was trying to get me out of here. You hear me? This is why they was trying to get us out of here. This is why they kept trying to get us in trouble. But think about how many people do not have the means right now to prepare. And lightweight is their pastor's fault. Because the pastors have been telling everybody, we on our way out of here. We about to get in the rapture boat, and the Lord is coming back to get us. Y'all ready to go home? They don't tell y'all all the stuff. You said more money for a sound system. They don't tell y'all all the stuff that has to happen prior to that happening. And that's the scary part. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying the truth. Because I've been talking to people. I was asking people back then in 22. Okay. After 2020, did your pastor start telling you to have something just in case something like 2020 happens again? No. Interesting. 22, when stuff started happening and the food was getting messed up, did they? No. 24, when all of the stuff with the row and everything? No. Okay. When people was getting trapped at airports and stuff like that, nothing? Got it. That's spooky. Because if you're supposed to be getting people ready for the coming of the Lord and you don't even know what's going on, I mean, y'all know how many pastors didn't know that the red heifers have been sacrificed and that the temple, it's don't get built. It's been built. It's prefab. They playing in everybody's face. You said I took my mom 2 weeks ago and I cried to myself. You said it was so sad to me I didn't want to go. A Muslim family in my neighborhood leave a box of food every day for anyone to take. See, they know what's up. You said he said, as long as you know the Lord loves you, you will be okay. That's what they tell. You said yes because a friend told me that the 144,000 were only Jew. Baby. Oh, shoot. I don't know no parts of it. You said they don't even know what the heifer is. That's scary. That's scary. And now y'all see why I said a lot of them are preparing their people to take the mark. Because if you're not gonna be able to buy or sell without this mark, why wouldn't pastors be telling you to do stuff so that you wouldn't ever even have to be tempted to take it? That makes no sense. I hadn't been in church in 8 years because I know better, but I took her. Listen, my mama go to church faithfully. Most of my family is ministers. So when people be telling, oh, my mama's an ordained minister right now. My brother's a minister of music. My other brother's an ordained deacon and has been for 20 years. Uncles on all sides of my family is pastors, Baptist pastors, Methodist pastors, AME pastors, apostolic, non-denominational, Kojic, you name it. I pretty much go through everything. I think I got everybody in my family except for a Catholic. Do you hear me? It's not a joke. You said, so they don't think the Lord loving us will warn us. Right, Rika. Even Jesus said not everybody that call him Lord is going to make it. Lord is going to make it into his kingdom. Listen, I don't have everything, but I have some things on hand. That part. You said to get ready for what's to come. Right. Why wouldn't he tell us? And he told all of them back in the day. You said my mom went to the pastor anniversary and they told her not to listen to me because they know better. How many things have happened that we have not been prepared for? We literally just gotta go say, oh, check. Thanks, Dad. Oh, that's happening in another country. God, thank you for. And she in Florida, where they've already had all of the stuff where people don't have no power. Folks, it's crazy. This video from Plant Based 7 months ago says just lentils and spices. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all having your own conversation over there. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't line up with anything in the Bible. They always had trials. Listen, I'll be right back. That's why listen. Everybody in my family was telling my other family members not to listen to me, right? And now two or three of the cousins that I am close with that did listen, they're calling them. They refuse to call me, right? Because they know. I was been telling them since before 2020. I started telling my family that a lot of this stuff was coming in 2017. 2018. I'm like, y'all, God keeps telling me this, that. Oh, ain't nobody listening to her. Okay, well, no. The world is on. Sorry, y'all. You said, yeah, they don't want to hear that. I told you so. He did. I didn't know who he was until I got over here. Yeah. I didn't know. Everybody kept asking me, do I watch Stephen Darby? I didn't even know who he was. But God definitely gave us the same messages. Because I be seeing his stuff now like, dang, I taught a class on that. I sure did. I taught a class on that. Yeah. I didn't know who he was until I got over here. But everything that I'm telling people online, I have been telling people before anybody even know who I was. You see? Right. I have been telling people God brought me to y'all because my family and my friends wouldn't listen. That's how I got over here. I already knew what it was. But this is not new to me. You see what I'm saying? I have been trying to get my family to start gardens. I kept telling them what God was telling me, that in 2020 people was going to get sick and all of this. And they wouldn't believe me. And then everybody got sick. And my brothers was calling me talking about, what was that stuff you told me to go get a couple years ago? What was that, a dehydrator? I said, well, you ain't going to be able to get it. They on back order for 3 months. And I had 4 running. Okay? In 2019, okay, I started my garden in 2017 or 18. Had never gardened before. Had a beautiful garden in a townhouse, not even in a house, in a townhouse. You said, and I didn't care. All my family was calling me crazy when I started dehydrating, learning how to make bread, pasta. They was like, ain't nobody doing all that. I could just go to the store and get it. I said, what about when you can't? What about when you can't? Okay? Because people had got comfortable. They thought that, oh, just because it's always here, that's not going to happen. It was a lady that told me a couple months ago or a couple years ago, she put under my post or whatever, that this stuff wasn't going to happen for 10 years. It's been 2. It's been 2 years, I think. And every single thing that God was telling us is happening right now. Even with the beings and all of these different things. It's all here. You said you convinced me. I bought 3 used ones off the internet, one at a time. You said, and I've been dehydrating everything. I'm trying to tell you. All of it is happening, B1. All of it. That's why I said God does not lie to me. I don't care about what people say. He don't. And he ain't lie. And I tell y'all what he tells me. And as y'all can see, he didn't lie to y'all either. Everything. That's how I just be like, well, I mean, someone told me that as well. You said they even asked if I was ordained. Listen, that's the problem. They worried about the wrong things. You got all these ordained ministers that ain't telling nobody nothing. So what does ordination mean if you're not doing the work? The Bible says that the harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. How is that when it's a gazillion pastors and ministers and everybody a bishop and everybody a everybody? So what was he talking about? He said, I came here because your message was similar to Darby's. Interesting. I didn't even know. That's why I said, yeah, I know. I used to be getting mad. Like, people used to, you should watch. No, I should just keep doing what God told me to do. I ain't knocking, But I have what I got to do. I can't go off what nobody else said. I got to go off what God gives me. You said my husband had a baby with an ordained minister. Uh-oh. I'm just going to sip my coffee. Right? I just got to do what God tells me to do. And it has been effective in every way. He taught me how he wanted me to teach. He taught me what he wanted me to say. And I've done it that way. And it's been effective. Period. We even have babies that study. We have young people that come here and they want to learn so that they can go tell their friends. We got young people, early 20s, early 30s. Our oldest student is 91. It still blows my mind. We got a 91-year-old student. He almost 100 years old. Hey, D. You said God ordained you. You said my husband cheated with one, and she's still in the pulpit. You said in our youngest well, he not well no, cause Deacon O is 12, but Deacon K is 6, and he been a deacon since he's about 3 or 4. He been a deacon since he's about 3 or 4. Yeah, our oldest, his name is DD. He's 91. He's our oldest student. hmm I haven't stepped foot in a church since K was like 1. Listen, and that baby know the word back and forth, don't he? He be busting our head every day. He study more than them church folks. And he can tell you the stories and tell you how he going with God. No matter what's going to happen. He don't care. He's not going with the bad people. And there's Christians that's been in church their whole life saying, I just want God to help me so when the time comes, I hope I make the right. You hope. You hope you don't chicken out when they say I'm going to unalive you if you don't. So do you really love Jesus or not? Because it's about to be against the law to talk about him. It's about to be against the law to go to a church. You said, what's my YouTube? The same as this. CERCA TROVA 22. And the Christians saying they hope they don't be here when the tribulation come and don't know they in it, girl. Just as crazy. He said they eyes, they wasn't going to see it. Yeah. Yeah. But not even just about faith. They haven't made it up in their mind that they really a Christian because it's for the look. It's for the aesthetic, honey. What did I come on here telling y'all? I already know that I am going to have to die for the things that I speak. I know that. You said, Kay literally said he doesn't care if they unalive him. He's going with Jesus. And he's 6. But you got grown folks saying, okay, prime example. And we talk about this all the time. Because these pastors did not prepare their kids, people are going to say, God would understand me taking this mark because my children are hungry. Can you see that happening right now? The people that our government just merged with think that Jesus is burning in his own poop in hell. And you think that you about to be able to talk about Jesus freely? You're not. And it ain't the Muslims that I'm talking about. Hello. They will spit in your face if you say that Jesus is the creator and the creator's son. And these are the people that just merged with our government. You think you're about to be able to talk about Jesus? You're not. You're not. Matter of fact, show y'all something. Since y'all think it's a joke. Hold on.
בקשה אישית, ואני מסתכל לך באמת בתוך הלבן של העיניים, כבוד השר, תיתן לי להיות זה שתולה אותם. אני לא רוצה חבל ואני רוצה כפתור עם הידיים שלי. אני יוציא להורג כל מחבל פה במדינת ישראל. אני אהפוך את העולם שזה יקרה. אני מבטיח לך להשתדל ולהפוך את העולם כדי שזה יקרה. והלוואי, זה אחד החלומות הכי טובים שלי. אגב, זה תלייה. אנחנו אמרנו שקבענו שנבצע אותו בתלייה.
Hold on, I'm about to tell y'all what they saying. He said, I have a personal request that you start allowing me to put a rope around certain people from the P country and unalive them. And the man said, we gonna look into it. Have y'all looked at the pins that's on their lapels? They're nooses. What's happening now with black folks? Again, they know who the originals are. If you go look at that one country, on their lapels, there is a rope, a cute little pin. Over in the P country, this young man just, you can't type that. Sister. It's the reason I'm saying it, girl. Come on, y'all. Now, I could have just said it, sister. You know we can't say it. We over here. I love you. And you can't erase the comments. That's why I'm saying the way I'm saying it. Not even that, because they know what that's about, y'all. Just know. Remember, we said, I'm going to say it. You're going to just know. Don't type it. They already got us on restrictions. That we are in the just know and don't type phase. We've been for 2 years. And if you're going to type it, you got to type it in a different way. I didn't have to say this a few times today, y'all. I love y'all, but we've been saying the same thing for 4.5 years. I need y'all to come on. Again. And this ain't to you, sister. This is to everybody. We are in the phase where they are getting ready to be rounding people up because of what you know. So you might have to act like you don't know it, or say it in a way that is not widely known, so that way the folks don't come knocking at your door. If I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it, this isn't something I want you to figure out. I just want you to know it. I just want you to know it. Okay? Do y'all hear me? Because okay. Before she died, my mother said children will have to endure even unto death. Don't take the mark. She knew it was coming sooner rather than later. Yes. And I love y'all, but I need y'all to put your, come on, everybody. I'm saying it without saying it because you already know. We already got a restriction just for showing the map. You said, so what should we do about this eye for an eye and take the kingdom? Understand that y'all have to understand that every scripture does not apply to every time dispensation. Okay? Okay? So what applied in this time dispensation was for that dispensation. What applies now is something different. Okay? And that's the problem. Church just teaches you just this one umbrella. That it wouldn't say it's a time for this and a time for that and a time for this and a time for that and a time for this and a time for that if it wasn't a different time. We are in the last days. So what people try to apply, what happened when Jesus came here, you said you're literally the second person to say that. I keep trying to tell people. They keep trying to, like my mama, okay? Oh, well, the Lord told us he going to take care of us. It literally says in Revelations that you are not going to be able to buy or sell without the mark. That doesn't apply to this timeline. They're getting ready to get rid of cash. Most places are cashless. That does not apply to right now. If Joseph would have thought like the people and Christians of today, the people that were in Egypt when he was there would have starved to death. God told him 7 years of good and 7 years of famine. He did not wait till year 1 to the thing, year 2. The year, the 7th year, going up to it, he started. If he thought like, oh, God told me so I don't got to worry about it, baby, we would never know that them people would have made it. You said the Lord took care of Joseph by telling him what to do. It's sensible to say he's doing the same thing right now, Nisi Poo. Listen, you said it's right on the back of the book, Prince of Darkness. You said what we are going through today. It is. They definitely want to listen to the stuff that doesn't require true faith. You said no accountability on their part. That part. Baby, I'm not listening to nobody that want me to take the mark. First of all, they're telling y'all to support the people that's about to put the mark out. They're telling y'all to support the people that believe Jesus is boiling in his own poop in hell and not risen to the highest heavens. They are telling y'all to stand in solidarity with the people that think that Jesus Christ, Yahushua, however you say his name, is boiling in his own excrement. And your pastor is telling you, we stand in solidarity with them. What? This is what the Bible said, even if they're going to be deceived, deception, delusion. How in the world do you stand with the people that do not believe that Jesus is risen? They call Mary a whore. Got it. Right. Okay. I can't get with that. You said, I know many will cave and take the mark because they will be convinced that the Lord will want them to. And wouldn't want them to suffer. They will cherry pick scripture to support that. Well, they're already supporting the people that's about to put it out there. That's the thing. So it's just going to be like, oh, this is, because you, folks, oh yeah, they don't go to church. Ain't nobody about to be able to go if you believe in Jesus Christ. You're not going to be, and you don't know how to have church at home because you ain't practiced it. It's true, Danny. It's true. Danny says she agrees. I just said they're going to say, God will understand. And that's why they're going to get to the gate and he's going to be like, oh, no. No, not you. You said they're hiring shepherds to teach it. Show we's flying them across the world to go make sure they teach the right message, too. You said grace and peace is multiplied of who was and is to come, the seven spirits of the Son. Hello? That's scary. But again, is this not Hosea? Ain't this Hosea? Shall we read it? Shall we read it in our paraphrase version just real quick and then I'm gonna let y'all go? Huh? No, I know that's Revelations, honey. I'm not talking about that. You said, ask for understanding, the Holy Spirit will give it. You said, I be asking them who the saints in Revelations is, and then they ain't got no answer. Right. Right. Let's do it. And we gonna read it in our edited version. And I go back here all the time because it's a scary thought that folks they don't want to know. It's easy to say, oh, because you good. You said, I don't want to walk up to Jesus' door and he asked, who am I? Sir, you don't know me. I know you. Please open the door. That part. That part. I'm in the ERV, y'all. And y'all know when I paraphrase this, how I do it. Can we do it? Hosea 4. So for the people that think I'm just talking crazy and I've been scarred in church, yeah, but that don't mean I don't love the Lord, and that don't mean that I don't study the word intently. Hello. Okay. Here we go. I'm in ERV, y'all. Now, where it says people of Israel, I'm going to put church folks. Where it says priest, I'm going to put pastors. Is that all right with y'all? This is our version here. Because we in this whole Christianity thing. So where it says the people of Israel, I'm going to put church folks. And where it says priests, I'm going to put pastors, ministers, bishops. Okay, good. Church folks, listen to the Lord's message. The Lord has something to say against those who live in this land. The people in this land, the church folks in this land are not honest or loyal. They don't really know God. Huh? Would you say? This Hosea 4. It said they not honest or loyal. And they don't really know me. Okay? Look. They are always cursing, lying, killing, stealing, and committing adultery. How many times have you had a Christian wish something bad on you? You're gonna die. That's why my God's gonna take your job. And da 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 da. Hold on, that's a curse you speaking out your mouth. Or did you not know? Now it's different if God gave you a dream, but you, because you saying this because I don't agree with you or whatever. Oh, okay. 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 A curse. I hope you get sick. I hope you. That's why this is. Oh, whoa. Oh, okay. Interesting. They murder one person after another. Can I say they murdered their character of one person after another? They destroy your reputation. If you don't agree, never mind. So the country is like someone crying for the dead, and all of its people are weak. Even the animals of the field, the birds of the sky, and the fish in the sea are dying. No one should argue or blame another person. Pastors, my argument is with you. You pastors will fall in the daytime, and at night the prophet will also fall with you. I will also destroy your mother. Church people are destroyed because they have no knowledge. This is scripture. Your pastors have refused to learn, so I will refuse to let them be, or you be, pastors for me. You have forgotten the law of your God, so I will forget your children. They became proud. They sinned more and more against me, so I will change their honor to shame. This is the priest now. The pastors fed on the people's sins. They wanted more and more of their sin offerings. So the pastors are no different from the people. I will punish them for doing the things they did. I will pay them back for the wrong things they did. They will eat, but they will not be satisfied. The pastors gonna eat and not be satisfied. They will commit sexual sins, but they will not have babies. The pastors? Interesting. Interesting. It says, this is because they left the Lord and became like prostitutes, and ain't nobody preaching for free right now. You got to give up an offering. Not the pastors acting like hoes. You got to put them up in a nice space and stuff before they ain't preaching till they got 5,000. What book am I reading from? Hosea 4 in the Bible. Hosea 4. I'm paraphrasing because we don't call them priests. You said, oh my God. Yeah, this is Hosea 4, huh? Look. Right. Hosea 4. It's right in your face. Ain't that crazy? They told us what we need to be looking for. Moving on. Here we go. This is because the pastors became like prostitutes. Sexual sins and strong drink and new wine ruin a person's ability to think straight. My people are asking pieces of wood, church people are asking pieces of wood for advice. They think those sticks will answer them. They have chased after the false gods like prostitutes and have left their own God. They make sacrifices on the tops of mountains and burn incense on hills under oak trees, poplar trees, and elm trees. The shade under those trees looks nice. So your daughters lie under those trees like prostitutes, and your daughters-in-laws commit sexual sins. Church hoes is the freakiest hoes. The Bible said it first. Moving on. I cannot blame your daughters or your daughters-in-law for doing this because your men go and have sex with the temple prostitutes and offer sacrifices with them. This is how foolish people destroy themselves. This is scripture. This Hosea 4. Read it for yourself. Church is the new hookup spot. And a lot of the pastors are committing sexual sin and not having babies because they're in same-sex relationships. Ain't no baby gonna come out of that. They having sex with their wife and with their boyfriend. And we didn't see it 100 times. Oh, okay. And I'm not knocking nobody's sexuality. I'm just saying, how did the Bible, how did Hosea know that the reverends were going to be sleeping with people, but the action that they were going to do would not create a child? How did they know that? Because that was to the reverends. Make it make sense. Oh, okay. I met my ex in church, and he's the biggest. Okay. I know some PK kids that have and are going through this right now. Y'all looking at one. I was a PK kid. I just told y'all. You said, what were they doing in that desert? The person they say is God. Huh? I don't understand. What? Are you talking about when they was in the desert worshiping the cow? Is that what you mean? It's a lot of people offended by what I said today. It don't matter because it's the scripture. It's not my words. Go read Hosea for yourself. See, y'all so used to him saying it like this. Okay. Ah! And they skip over the part where it say that the pastors have become like prostitutes. They skip over the part that their daughters are hoes. They skip over the part that they refuse to learn. And they just say, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. All the rest of that, they move on to a new scripture. But everything in Hosea is in our churches right now. And it don't matter what church it is. Catholic, Presbyterian, Methodist, Episcopalian, you name it. Baptist, all of them. Apostolic, non-denominational, it's all there. Make it make sense. Hello. So Christians are going to perish because their pastors don't want to learn. And the pastors are the people telling you. Mormon and LDS, same thing. Listen. Okay? How did Hosea know? Tell me. How did he know what was going to be going on? You said the pastor told, this pastor told the congregation he was preaching too hard for the collection plate to be empty. I don't got, look. I done told y'all what it was. I told y'all. And we've been in here for 3 hours and I ain't said nothing about a collection, send me a heart, a star, a galaxy, a nothing. And we've been in here 3 hours and we did about 9 hours worth of class, maybe more than that. In the last couple of days, we was on 5 and some change. It got back on for another 3 hours. And then all those 8 hours, baby, I didn't ask for $1. I ain't asked for a gift. I ain't asked for nothing. Interesting. We got 2,000 classes almost. Yeah, we at 167 minutes. Oh, okay. Scary. That you ain't teaching unless you getting paid. That's spooky. You said I hate when they begging for a galaxy or heart me. A lot of people say they ain't gonna teach until they get a couple gifts. I didn't see them. That's spooky. Hosea just said they act like prostitutes. They ain't going to teach nowhere if they not getting put up in a nice hotel with a car to come pick them up and all the bells and whistles. They're not gonna teach for free. They're not. So anyway, I got something to go do. When I come back, we can go back into our studies if y'all want to. You said they kick you out or block you without listen. Wait, you said they kick you out or block you without hearting? So if you don't heart them, they kick you out, Shar? I ain't asked not a one person to like this. Like, baby girl, listen. I don't know what time. I just popped back on. I gotta go run and do something real quick. It might only be 30 minutes. It might be an hour. It ain't gonna be that long. Long skirt, big belly, after office consultation in church. Come on. You said you missed the first part? Well, y'all, okay. So I don't know if y'all know this, but do not depend on these people to let y'all know I'm live. They're not. This is why I be asking people, not so I can get my followers up. I don't care about none of that. But if you wanna be in class, I say follow us on YouTube. But they're playing now with not telling people that we're live. So we also have Substack, right? Because as y'all can see, they don't be telling people until we almost off that the live is on. And so if you want to, but we do record on YouTube. You said I never get notifications. I know. Yeah. Excuse me. So, uh, I just say follow us on other social media so you can at least know, get a notification from somewhere that we online. You said I just jump on in when I see you live, then go back after to watch what I missed. Right. Right. I mean, that's the only thing I can do now because every day somebody's going to come in and say they didn't tell me you were live. They kicked me out. Yep, we know this. But this is why I go so hard with telling people don't say certain stuff and don't type certain things so that we can stay in class as long as we need to. We already been through this before. You see what I'm saying? Every year. That's why we just got out. We've been off of here for 9 months because I don't got time. I be wanting to teach. And if people get to typing and saying different stuff and then, or whatever, or we being said something and then we can't teach. So what's the point? That's why we've been on YouTube for the most part. You said I was getting notification on Substack to let me know to come on here, but now the Substack notification stopped. I just checked throughout the day and rewatch what I missed. Girl, I know. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. Look how many houses we done been on. Instagram, they start doing the same thing. We went to fan base, they start doing the same thing. We done been over here. You said they be tripping on YouTube too. That's what I'm saying. Every house we done been in, they done blocked us. Not blocked us, but they're not letting people find us. Somebody came here and said they've been looking for us on YouTube for a year. And I believe it. Try to subscribe and it don't even have the little bell there. So I know, but you got to think about the stuff that we learn. You said they sure ain't. And notifying people way after the live is done. Right, right, right. I told y'all. You said that's what I do. Watch the rewatch, which sucks. It makes me. I mean, I'm happy y'all watch the rewatch, but I be loving it when everybody is in class. But they don't want that because again, we be looking, and that's why I believe they put the AI in all of the search engines to where you get AI first. But somebody said you can go in your something and turn off ever since the map discovery. My tablet is tripping, girl. Girl, you just made all the hair on my body stand up. Yes. Somebody said you can go in there and turn off the safety search feature, and then all of our old internet will come back. So I'm gonna try that. They said that's why you said I was reading doing our homework. Ain't it good? You can. Was it you, Nicole, that told us? Okay. So you can go in there and turn off the safety search and the old internet will come back, is what they said. So we'll be able to find all our old, how we used to have pages and pages and pages and pages of information. You said my Substack been stopped sending me notifications. I know, but okay, y'all. Can I ask y'all a question? You said let me go, because you said I need to be able to research properly that part. Let me ask you a question though. In the beginning, when we first started this, did I tell y'all they was gonna do this? Did I? When we first started this, I said I don't know how long they gonna let me come to y'all because they blocked me on other places. That's how I got over here. But while we are able to find each other, let's look up as much information as we can because they're gonna stop us from being able to get access to this information. And now we're here. Okay, 4.5 years later, almost five. Come February, we'll be doing this 5 years. And they have tried to hide us on every social media platform that we have gone on. It does not matter. Now they're blocking my emails. Listen to me. They want people to be in the dark about the things that are coming. That's it. That's point blank, period. That's what it is. It was you, Auntie? Okay, thank you. So it ain't like I lied to y'all. I was like, oh, whatever. I told y'all they was going to, and we got books on books on books on books. And do. and do. And do, and do, and do, and do. You see what I'm saying? This is why I begged y'all. Everybody buy all kind of books on everything. And because not all of us are going to buy all the same books. So when we come together, we have other information, right? Because we want to know the truth, right? So you're welcome, sister. This the thing. When they stop us from connecting, which is going to happen, you're going to need something to keep this strong. Okay? Prayer is going to do it first, but you're still going to need something because this world is used to being entertained. Most people can't even sit down and read for 20 minutes straight without immediately going to pick up their phone. Okay? So, just think about that. You said that used to be me, sister. I mean, Niecy Pooh. Listen. Right. Think about if you have to be on watch of some kind. If your attention span isn't that long, you said always needed some white noise or something. Come on. You said now the hair on my body is thin up, girl. That part. So I love y'all. When I come back, y'all want to do some more invisible places and then see what we can find on the map when I come back? That's what I want to do. Which makes sense too. You said yes, let's do it. Okay. All this brainstorming power coming together to get the truth, of course, they would want to stop it. Of course. Okay. So let me go run and do this real quick. Give me about an hour. It probably won't, it might not even be 45 minutes. Let me just see. The first author on there is Alberto Manguel. Manguel. Alberto Manguel. Hello, Sandra. Alberto Manguel. Manguel. You're welcome. Did y'all sell that book out too? Or is it copies? Y'all done sold out imaginary places already? I know how y'all do over here. Seeing as how all the imaginary places are right in our freaking face on the map. Just makes me angry. Alberto. Alberto. Oh no, you can still buy some. They got them. Good. It looked like it's a lot of them in places. Well, not a lot, but enough. They got one on thrift books, a couple on thrift books. And it's different. You can tell it's different editions. I see they still got them. He said mine will be here tomorrow. Listen, you said I just got the book from Teresa Bain, Imaginary and Mythical Places. I feel like I have. Do I have that book in here? By Teresa Bain? I feel like her name is in here somewhere. Do I have that book? Look, I'm asking you what's in my library. I feel like I got that book. I feel like Teresa Bain is a name we know. Do I have it? Imaginary and Mythical Places. Teresa Bain. We have something from Teresa Bain. What is it? My Giant and Humanoid Creatures. Is that who? Okay. I'm like, we got. No, it's she. No, that's Fritz Zimmerman. I know we got something from Teresa Bain in here. I just don't know what it is right now. I found it. Or maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, okay. The Encyclopedia of Demons. Oh. I'm like, I know we got. Ah, okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I know that name. Okay, yeah, I see it. All right, y'all. Come on in, class. Is she over the Dictionary of Angels too? No. Okay. I'm like, Teresa Bain. I know that name. That's how y'all know. I'm like, wait a minute. I know that name. Yeah, we do. I see it. Okay. I'm like, girl. Teresa. Teresa Bain. I know I done seen that on the book in here somewhere. Yeah, you just looked at it the other day. It's bad. That's why I need a library assistant. That's exactly why I need a library assistant. Because y'all is my library assistants. Thank you. Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for volunteering. Because I'll be like, did I read it online? That's my issue. Did I read it online or did I read it in a real book? You said I do not have sticky fingers. Oh, I know. I know. I know. You said I'll be the Mary. Listen. Well, listen, y'all. Give me a couple minutes and then we'll get back to it. But we're gonna do our imaginary places. I feel that making my toes wiggle. Right, and then we also got this Language of the Garden of Eden book that I think is gonna be important. Oh, and the if you all have the Book of Earths, you can actually read it online too. Grab that as well. Where is mine? By Edna Kenton. You can read it for free on Forgotten Books. Okay? It is. It is One Love. Okay? If y'all can go to Forgotten Books, you can read this online there for free. The Book of Earths, Hollow Earth, Ancient Maps, Atlantis, and Other Theories. I need y'all to grab that prior to us getting back into class. And you should be able to find it at forgottenbooks.com. Edna Kenton. Edna Kenton. Edna. Edna. Okay. So grab that. The Book of Earths. Look through there if y'all can while I'm doing this. And then we'll look around. And I have not read that whole complete book. I've read a lot of it, but not the whole thing. Right. Okay. Y'all hear me? I love y'all. Bye. Because I'm going to keep on saying it. The Book of Earths and your imaginary place.